Okay. Is it going, Kevin?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, everybody, let me share my screen. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the KubeStellar Community Meeting. Today is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. If you would like, thank you for everyone who's joining us online live, and for those that will be joining us on our YouTube channel, we really appreciate it. Okay, so Kevin, could I ask you to do lobby duty for me?
Sure.
All right, thanks. All right, so to get access to this specific agenda, this is a Google Doc, and to get access to it, you go to https://kubestellar.io/join_us or join us. When you get there, you'll see a button that says join. Once you've joined, you get access to this page, and you get regular bi-weekly meeting invites to this community meeting. All right, so where we post these meetings after they're finished is kubestellar.io/TV. That's our YouTube channel. We have funny commercials up there and explainers. Some new videos just went up this week from Mike Spreitzer, one of our esteemed maintainers, about how to build a documentation preview that's required for PRs that touch any of our documentation, and also how to use GitHub to untangle yourself out of a rebase mess. It's good information, and everybody, I think, can benefit from that. Okay, so we are very proud members of the CNCF community, and we are a sandbox, part of the Sandbox project. As contributed, and so we maintain a contributor code of conduct, and I'll read it to you here. As contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community, and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We are committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, age, religion, or nationality. And as I always like to say, just means be nice to each other. Great general rule of thumb, even in today's climate. All right, so if you wouldn't mind, if you're on the call and you would like to be noted as such, go ahead and add your name to this list. That's our list of attendees for this specific call. And I'll get started on the agenda. If you have things you'd like to add to the agenda, just drop them down at the bottom like Rupam is doing now. Okay, so let's get started. So KubeCon North America in Atlanta, Georgia, it'll be taking place in November 10th to 13th. We will be there in some way, shape, or fashion. We're still waiting for the CFPis to go through their approval and pending process. We're looking at being part of the partner pavilion for the Sandbox project, as well as doing a lightning talk. We'll see if we get approved for that. And we have some other goodies in the bag, some other things that we're working on that might be interesting, and you might see us more prevalent than we have been in the past. So the community is growing well, and I think things are becoming easier for us to put in CFPs and become noticed. We're also put in some CFPs for the co-located events, which take place the day before the main stage KubeCon, and that's on November 9th. This is just closed on June 30th. It is closed. And so we have put in a couple more talks for that. Open Source Summit was just in the last week of June. I was out there co-presenting with Professor Leong from Orlando, Florida. This was in Denver, Colorado. And we did a talk on the Interns for Open Source project and how KubeStellar is playing a role in that, and how other OSPOs or OSPOs or open source project offices in a variety of different colleges and universities and other organizations around the country and around the world are participating in this as well. So the general gist of it is that OSPOs, these groups get created by colleges and universities to attract more students into their curriculum, and in doing so, students pay the universities for this pragmatic and realistic, more realistic experience that they can have with open source projects, formal ones, just like KubeStellar. KubeStellar takes part in these, helping out these OSPOs create curriculum, as well as bringing their students in and training and maturing their skill sets and getting them ready for the real world. And this is something that I spoke about at the Open Source Summit with Professor Leong. I'll be posting the link to this. It should be out probably end of this week, maybe beginning of next, of the recorded session. I think you'll all enjoy it. All right. On the UI update, we've got 5 projects running in parallel, as well as a GSOC and Cornell's SDF program. Here we've got a bunch of new developments in inside the KubeStellar UI project, the KubeFlex, and the KubeStellar project, as a result of all the amazing contributions that everybody is making here that's either assembled on this call or has been working through an internship. There are new internships being formed for the fall of 2025. We expect to have 6 of them for the LFX. They will include 1 mentee each who has a paid internship, as well as the potential for 2 to 3 unpaid interns to work inside that project as well, if you're not picked for the initial round. I encourage you all, if you're interested in taking part in any of the LFX or any of the other interns for open source projects that we run, that you should begin contributing to our projects, any one of KubeStellar UI or KubeFlex, to make your name known and also to get value experience with the project. You can't just do that overnight. So it takes a couple weeks to get your name out there and to work interactively with the original maintainers. We are actively looking for mentors that grow out of the mentee program, and also those mentors have the ability to become mainstay maintainers. And so we are actively looking for more maintainers for the KubeStellar project. So there's always a possibility to move from mentee to mentor to maintainer in as little as 6 months. So if you're interested in that opportunity, we encourage you strongly to get started today by contributing. Okay, version 0280 release is available. You can go up there and grab it now at the URL posted in front of you. This included an upgrade to Kubernetes 1.30. As you know, as we rebase on Kubernetes, we have to release new projects ourselves, as do many other in the open source CNCF community. And so we keep as close to the current release as we possibly can. A lot of security vulnerabilities have been fixed. You can see a lot of this from the OFSA and also on Clone Monitor and some other places that give us grades for our security, and we've made a lot of market changes there. We think you'll be impressed by it. It's a good use. It has been a good use of our time. All right. The upcoming changes will be moving to rebase onto Kube 1.31. Of course, that'll include more vulnerability fixes. We're on a campaign to do so. And we're looking to scale out our KubeStellar's performance testing. Braulio, you want to give us an update on that? Braulio, are you on mute?
Yes, I was on mute. So I'm rebasing this PI and given the upgrade that we moved to have done KubeStellar. So I'm just rebasing this PI. There are some updates and on the script testing that I'm fixing, and this PI will be in a good shape to go.
Okay, very good. All right. Our PROW migration is complete, and we've got a couple of things that are out of whack. So I'm just going to, 1 second here. I'm just trying to do not disturb. Okay. So just trying to get a handle on what other things are necessary, such as build image creation, but those don't happen that frequently. So we can do those manually for the time being. And there's some logs that aren't working, but they're not really critically in our way in terms of having a regular testing cadence. So just a note on automated testing. There will be a couple of new help wanted issues hitting the KubeStellar repo this week, probably within the next 24 hours, that will revolve around things like how to integration test KubeFlex with KubeStellar. As you know, KubeStellar relies on KubeFlex, and as a result, when KubeFlex gets revved, KubeStellar must either rev or falls out of sync with KubeFlex, and we have to be able to identify that quickly. So there'll be a task for automating that. required, help wanted. You'll get to work with things like the Oracle Cloud infrastructure that we get free credits through the CNCF for. And so it'll be really cool for someone who wants to learn how to do more on Oracle Cloud and more on automation for CI. We've got some items in the core Helm chart that we're fixing vulnerabilities in, so look for more progress there. Summarization, I don't really have a lot of, this has been on the agenda for quite a while. There's not really a lot more activity than there has been, so I won't spend any more time on that. And multiple simultaneous KubeStellar systems are a vision of the future for us, and we hope that maybe that might be the case. We might even be using something like MCP or A to A in the future for doing that. Okay, so just to recap, 0.28 release is available. Our new homepage is at KubeStellar.io. We're based on Kubernetes 1.30, and there's a lot of vulnerability fixes out there. Before I continue on with user input, let me go to Franco. Franco, you're on mute.
Yes, I know. I didn't enable it before. So a quick update, right? You mentioned the status. So we did open a proposal for the next term of the LFX to work on that. So hopefully somebody can contribute and propose, an approach about it. Just wanted to point it out.
Great, Franco. Franco, you have the issue open already? Did I forget?
Yes, it's open.
Okay. Yes, you do. Yes. Okay.
I actually have two proposals open. One is for the CLI and one is for the status.
Which repo is it in? It's in the
in the main,
KubeFlex?
yeah.
It's in
No,
KubeStellar?
main.
Okay.
KubeStellar.
Let me go look at it real quick. Yeah, so for those on the call and those watching on the recording, you can take a look at issues. You'll see they're denoted with LFX. Okay, so I don't see them here. Am I missing them?
No, they should be in there. They may not be recent because they were older issue that I reclassified. So search for term 3, I think.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Very good.
There's a couple of them.
Okay, right. So these are starting to amass. So yeah, we got to put read this first. Good. Okay, good. Yes. So the best way that you can be a part of these internships is, that didn't do anything. Hold on, let me do that again. One second. I'm trying to bold this. Okay, now I've done it. Okay. So one way that the best way to become a part of this is to contribute regularly and look for these issues, and at the end of this month these will be upstream. Well, these will be downstreamed into the LFX contributor space on their GitHub repo, and then you can apply for them at that time. Okay, very good. Thanks, Franco. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. Okay, so let's go next. Okay, so Rupam, you're up next. You've got a couple issues you wanted to talk about.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Actually, my specific issue is previous day's question that what happen if there is no ITS control plane register, and if we want to assign by Helm chart one WDS, then it could be problematic. Or if there exists more than one ITS, then also it could be problematic. So is there any specific reason to do that? I'm just want to make sure that what is the reason.
I don't know if it was clear, the issue. Should I go through a second view of it? So
Yeah,
it's related. Yeah, it's related to KubeStellar control manager right now. In the Helm chart, we do not force the user to specify an ITS where the control manager will connect to, because in most cases we only have one, right? So the Helm chart tries to guess what the correct ITS should be. If there is more than one, then currently would fail. But there is all this logic require not complex, but require some bash parsing of the cluster to figure that out. So I'm guessing Rupam is asking if that's the way we want to continue, or we want to force the user to specify an ITS all the time.
Yes,
Okay.
force to user specify an ITS could be more reasonable and means stop to fragile our system, I think.
My personal concern is that it's one more parameter that needs to be passed through the Helm command. And in most cases, I think we only, at the moment, I believe we only support one ITS anyhow, right? In the future, it may change when we go.
As of now, I think one proposal is being in KubeFlex that we are supposing to add multiple control plane in KubeStellar. So I think that could be problematic, or might be I am thinking in a wrong way that in future we will not add multiple ITS control plane.
I think we're missing Mike, who's the right key person to give you a feedback.
Yeah, we talked about this at the end of the intern call yesterday. And I think we generally understand the necessity for this and what the problem may be. So we requested that Rupam not only open this issue, but the other one that he's got open now, that we hope to get some clarification and either address via PR or make a statement of not supporting. So I think the eventuality of this is that it gets resolved. So the good news is that it's the issue is open, and I think that's the best news. So now there's awareness, and then we can now turn that into something that can be further worked on. The second one you had, did you already? Yeah, this one as well.
Yes. So basically, as of now, what is happening that Helm chart is copying the kubeconfig file like config map from the WDS control plane. But what happens if we assign WDS after releasing means after installing our Helm chart? Sorry, after installing the Argo CD, then means there is no dynamic upgradation of Helm chart with WDS mapping. So my question is specific that if there any reason or what is the future thinking of it?
Yep. So this is another one that I think we need to think through and determine what we're going to do and either to support it or not. I think we do need to support it. So I feel that this will get solved in time. What we can do, what's nice about this, Rupam, is that what you've given us here is a way to level up. Let me explain what that means. So many of the interns and the mentees that have worked with us to date have been working mostly in the user interface space, which clearly was needed some way to simplify what we do in the underlying core. You represent Rupam and Nui and some others that are working in KubeStellar and KubeFlex right now, not the UI, represent the next generation of maintainers for KubeStellar's main repository, which is important that we grow, groom, mature folks in that space to take over for maintainers that may age out of the project or move on to other things. So it's very important, that you've opened this. Now we can open this up to maybe break it down into some smaller parts, if it can be, and tackle them individually with folks that want to come on and contribute and work their way through the contributor ladder to become full-blown maintainers of KubeStellar. So you've helped us in defining this from a beginner's point of view. I want to say thank you for opening this, Rupam, these first two issues.
Thank you. So as of now, I have some concern with Franco also. So we can migrate our bash logic to init container with the same logic as of now, and probably in future we can do mounting the WDS control plane to the Argo CD. So is it okay to proceed as the point of now?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we've got to break this down into composable parts and figure out how to best address it. If you think that this is at its most atomic level, if it's at its broken down to its most simplest level, and you would like to start working towards PRs for this, we welcome them. And anyone else who's listening on this call that would like to join in on that effort as well. I think this is a good first start.
Thank you.
Or any of the other original maintainers that are on the call, do they have any opinion on this? Braulio, Kevin, Franco? I can't see everybody else, so. The wonders of Teams. Okay, yeah, Franco.
I think that these two issues are slightly separate. So for the one that you have open, at the moment, my suggestion would be to continue the improvement of the bash script and breakdown of the initContainers, but maintain the logic to be fully backward compatibility, to maintain compatibility. Then if we want to change it in the future, maybe we can do that separate, but in the current process of improving the Helm chart and improving the initContainers, I would try to maintain the same logic. That would be my first suggestion. For the other issue that you showed before related to the Argo CD and the fact that the WDS are statically mounted at the time Argo CD is installed or deployed, and not as the WDS become available. I think that's a good, important issue that Rupam has identified. We should fix that problem. Possibly, we need something that monitors, right, the WDSs and load them and unload them from Argo as they become available. So that's I think in the long term, I don't think it's urgent, terribly urgent, because I don't know that we have a large base of Argo CD users, to be honest with you. On the other hand, I think that's a clear issue that should be solved, but in my scale, it's not very top priority. That's what I'm saying, right? If we have other things to work that are higher priority, we should work on that and keep this open to remind ourselves that we need to get back to it. And if we have time, absolutely, we can work on this.
Yeah, I think that, that's actually a good idea about having a dynamic list in Argo maintained. I don't know that anybody else does that. So that would be interesting for us to have that capability. Good idea, Franco.
Yeah, my point is I don't want to disperse the current effort. I would like to, especially for the end of the project, I would like to get a clear, improved Helm chart. May not have additional functionality like the one pointed out by the other thing. I prefer that to get a clean, updated chart that includes all the new feature, KubeFlex and stuff like that. That would be my first goal. And if we need to postpone this to the next term, I'm okay to do it. Or if you can do it in this term, then I'm okay to do it as well. But I would like to get to achieve the goal of having a clean, easy to read chart. That's my point of view. Also for Rupam's success, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned with too. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, let's continue to double down on this. I think it's a good idea to continue in this direction. Also, we have until end of July, so another 2 weeks to finalize our projects. A little more than 2 weeks to finalize our projects for the fall. So if this has influenced your thinking any, Franco, on what you and Rupam on developing the next iteration of the fall project set, please go ahead and remember to just scribble that down and update the issue as you can, as soon as possible. And next week we'll start looking at the issues more closely to see the ones that are for LFX internships more closely to see how they need to be refined. And so I think this is a good step in the right direction. Yes, Franco.
Okay, if there is a couple of minutes more, I think, again, not the issue that you have open, but the other one is 3066. I think it falls into a broader category. Also for Rupa, maybe we can open an issue on a broader category of dynamically mounting the secrets of the kubeconfig, not just to Argo, but also all the controllers have this issue, right? So right now we don't have an easy way to do it dynamically, nor to mount directly the secret contained in the kubeconfig. We need to go through a process of translating that to a config map. And the fundamental reason is because the secret must exist before we instantiate the controller. And if it doesn't, the controller fails. So we go through the config map because the config map can be mounted without the file in it, but not the secret. So we need to investigate what is the best work around it. It would be better to move away from config maps in general. So I think it's a broader category than just Argo CD dynamically mounting. All the container will benefit from dynamically mounting, and all container, including Argo, will benefit from mounting secrets directly somehow. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Link TBD. Rupam.
Yeah, actually, in our previous meeting, I also talked with Franco. Basically, there is a problem to mounting this because of Kubernetes life cycle, because we have to first run the init container, then pods and all. So I think there should be we have to introduce some more logistic like operator here, but introducing operator might be a controversial thing to our for project. But I want to just make sure that can KubeFlex do this thing, or we want to KubeFlex only for creating control plane and its own work, or if we add some small functionality to do that by KubeFlex. Means I'm not sure, but just asking this thing.
I don't really have an answer for you right now, Rupam. I think you've got the right people included on the issue. Let's see if Mike wants to chime in on this, and this will be an active discussion, I think, between Mike and Franco at this point. Okay. All right, we're out of time for today. Kevin, could I ask you to do one thing for me? This is the silliest request. I just noticed this. This is WebEx. We're on Teams, right? No, we're on WebEx? Or are we on Teams?
No, we're on Teams.
Yeah, so I've still got a WebEx link in here. You want to keep me honest on this at some point, and maybe help me out in figuring out what this is supposed to be? I think this is correct. Or maybe I could just remove that, right?
Hang on. That's encryption. We should be able to pull the meeting data actually from.
All right, we'll do that offline. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate all your time today. Thanks so much for joining. If you have any other comments or questions, come see us in the Kubernetes Slack organization at KubeStellar-dev. That's KubeStellar-dev. And in there, our topic is set to this meeting, the Join Us link above, right? So you'll be able to get reminded about that. And we'll also be able to work with you on trying to figure out how you might contribute if you're interested in joining our mentee program, our IFOS program in the fall or in the spring of next year. We are active participants there, and we'd love to have you if you're interested. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.
I also have a question in chat.
Oh, Rupam, you have a question in chat? I didn't.
No,
I can't
use
see any of that.
Ayush
Sorry.
Kumar.
Oh, Ayush has a question. Let's see. Could you please clarify the issue related to the LFX Term 3 that you have currently presented? Are these projects that KubeStellar is proposing and that are currently in progress for the internal team? In other words, how will these projects be useful to us? Okay, so the projects that are ready for Term 3 have grown out of a necessity or things that we've seen that we need for the future of the KubeStellar project. And so they are not open for the current term, which is Term 2, which is the summer. They will start, Term 3, I believe, starts in the second week of September, and we'll work those issues through the end of October, November. November 28th is the end of it. So those are issues that we plan on growing the community to the degree and extent we're right now a sandbox project. We aspire to be an incubating project, which is the next level up in the journey in the CNCF program. And so to become an incubating project, we need one thing that's very essential, that we need to have adopters that we know exist. In other words, the adopters.md file that's in the root of our repository. We have Cornell listed there, university. We'd like to have other adopters listed there. We know that there are people out there using our project. We don't necessarily know who they are. So a big push in the fall is going to be opening up a developer relations department here in the KubeStellar community. Developer relations will be responsible for doing things like outreach over YouTube, influencers, writing up blog posts, putting out YouTube videos, et cetera, Instagram, you name it, everywhere we can get saturation, and increasing the awareness about the KubeStellar project, not only for its contribution ladder and the ability to become a maintainer in 6 months or more, but also for the ability to use it as an actual project to do things that are useful. Like I said, we know that people are out there and listening to this call that are using KubeStellar. We just need the ability to capture those names and put them into our adopters file. Once we have those, we can start working with them to understand what new features and functions they'd like to see in KubeStellar. And then as a result of that, we can develop new features and functionality and then also apply simultaneously to the incubating project with the criteria that they've set forth for us. I think for the most part, all that we're missing to get to incubation stage is to have a set of recognized adopters. And so that's what we'll be working hard on in the fall and in the spring of 2026. I hope that answers your question, Dayush. All right, any other comments or questions, or I'll let everybody go? All right, folks, thanks so much for joining the call. We'll get the recording up there this afternoon. It's a pleasure to have all you here today. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye all.